take those steps ahead of time to prevent things that could harm your child. We usually think about sunscreen when we're going to the pool and have plans to be out in the sun for a long period of time, but we need to think about it on a daily basis too, because kids should be getting outside sometime every day. Most of your sun exposure happens during childhood, and so sunburns that happen in childhood do carry a risk for skin cancer down the road. Sunscreen does need to be reapplied every 2 hours, and it would be best to let it soak in for 15 to 20 minutes before you're actually out in the sun. Another option is UV protective clothing. Some clothes are actually labeled as UV protective, and that will provide some protection, especially for kids who can't stand sunscreen. Hydration is a big part of staying safe in the heat, but also taking frequent breaks. It's important that kids have access to water anytime they need it and can take breaks as often as they would like. And some kids need to be reminded that they need to take breaks. Water would be the preferred drink of choice to stay hydrated. Babies under 6 months old should not be getting water. They should be getting breast milk or formula. Their bodies just don't regulate their electrolytes well, so it can actually be dangerous to give a baby under 6 months old water. The biggest thing that I would stress to parents is water safety. Most of the drowning events with kids happen when kids are not supposed to be swimming. You should designate a water watcher, so an adult around the pool, that's their only job. They should not be on their phone or reading a book or doing anything else. If you have a non-swimming child who is not able to swim independently, they need to be within arm's reach of an adult at all times. Wear your life jackets in the boats. I know we think about making kids do it, but if something should happen and you're out on the boat with your children, how long could you actually tread water while you're trying to keep your family safe? So the things that you're watching for, it's kind of a spectrum of complications from just heat exhaustion or fatigue to heat stroke. And so the initial symptoms to be watching for would be excessive tiredness, lightheadedness, feeling like you just can't continue the activity. And so it's very important to listen to your body, and for parents of younger kids to watch their activity level. And if you notice that they're slowing down or just seem like they're struggling, it's probably time for a break. The more concerning symptoms to watch for that may indicate heat stroke would be a very elevated temperature, like 105, confusion, lightheadedness, vomiting, breathing rapidly or deeper than normal. These would all be emergency signs. So heat stroke is a life-threatening emergency that has to be addressed immediately. It's good to try to avoid the peak sun hours, so certainly try to get your activities in before 11 or after 3. That really reduces the risk of the UV exposure and also the heat exposure. And take breaks frequently, have water available often, make sure they have plenty of shade to cool off in. But I'd say it's time to get out there and enjoy it.